Oh, good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, September 7th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. And like my guy in the chat, Dr. Hiskins, let's cue that music, watch the intro, and we will be right back.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat.
Oh, like I said, good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. And like my guy Pete 780 said in the chat, oh, you Yankee fans out there, wake up and grab your coffee. Welcome back, TC. How you feeling, big fella?
I'm feeling good, man. The vibes are on this team, man. Wow. Are we back in it? Is this a playoff team? What's going on, bro? Man?
We'll talk about it.
I like it.
We'll talk about it. They're pulling us back in. They're pulling us back in. We got everybody in the building. We got 16 of y'all watching. If you guys can, please smack that like button. And if you are excited about this month of September, the Yankees are 5-0 right now. Let's see the aliens in the chat. Drop the aliens emojis in the chat because Jasson Dominguez, what can we say about this kid, TC? Is your pops right? Is your father right, TC? Last week, he was comparing him to Mickey Mantle, and we told Big Time Jerry to just calm down. We got a few games. Jasson Dominguez, he has 3 home runs. He is batting .333 on the season. He's just killing it right now, TC.
Yeah, it's early. We got a small sample size, but man, dude, I love what I'm seeing with this kid, man. He is on fire. What, he 3 for 4 yesterday? He's hitting all over the place, using the whole field. Home runs. He had his first home run, a Yankee Stadium home run. Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Last night?
Yeah, last night.
I mean, he is, wow. I mean, to go along with the speed and a great arm, I mean, he's the he's a real deal, the whole package, man. I like it. Woo.
Let's do shout out to my guy, Mr. Steve Schumann in the chat. Stevie Pooh. He said, problem is, even if we miraculously make it to the postseason, Wells and Dominguez will not be eligible. Oh, Steve, that's a little bit wrong right here because Steve, great way to segue us to our first conversation, but we got to talk about it because this is something that people were talking about on Twitter, right? So I'm gonna bring it up right now. I got the rule from Major League Baseball. A player who doesn't meet said criteria for the postseason eligibility can still be added to a team's roster in the postseason via a petition to the commissioner's office. If the player was in the organization on August 31st and is replacing someone who is either on the injured list and has served the minimum amount of time required for activation. For example, a player on the 10-day injured list who has been on it for at least 10 days, or a player who has been on it on the 60-day injured list for at least 60 days. Players acquired in September or after or ineligible. So just imagine the Yankees. We got Frankie Montas on the 60-day IL. We got Nestor Cortez on the 60-day IL. Those are 2 roster spots right there that the young kids can take. So that right there is the perfect way for Jasson Dominguez and Austin Wells to make this team for the postseason. But Steve, it's an interesting comment because people were talking about this all day on Twitter. So I had to do what I did. I went into the rules book. I got the rule from Major League Baseball. TC, what's your thoughts?
That's good. You do your research, man. You're on it, boy. And it's a good thing you're here because the Yankees might not know this. So it's good to know that they could be eligible, and it's amazing that we're actually talking about postseason again. Just the energy that these guys have brought, especially late August and now into September. That we actually are in the conversation and talking about it's a possibility that we could make the postseason again, and it's 6.5 out, and not that far off. So I wouldn't get too excited yet.
My guy Acevedo in the chat got 2 more names. They are are available because they are replacing also JD and Rizzo. Rizzo will be shut down for the remainder of the season. That just came out a couple of days ago. I dropped the video on the channel. If you guys can help us out, go and show that video some love. Let's get the likes up on that one as well. You can find it in our channel under the videos section. Sorry about that. Just messages popped up on my phone. Also, I want to give a shout out to my brother, my guy, Celso Porto. I want to shout out my guy, Jigga Man Porter, that you guys know on the channel. I've been working with Celso, I want to say, for the past 2 years, right? We met each other through mutuals just on the internet. He had me on his show back in the day, started the Yankees Morning Brew last week. And I mean, we started the Yankees Morning Brew last year when we was working on the Knights of Dejan channel. And I just want to say, my brother Celso, he deserves all the flowers and all the credit in the world because he is just killing it right now. If you guys haven't seen, he's producing right now for a friend of ours, Jerry Ferrara. You guys know Jerry Ferrara for Entourage, from the Power Universe. He's been in multiple movies as well. He started his own venture on his own YouTube channel. You guys can go onto our channel list on our channel. You can find Jerry's channel right there. Make sure you guys go subscribe to that channel. Celso will be producing a show later on today at 3 p.m. Make sure you watch it when it comes to Jerry Ferrara. I have a clip that I want to play from the past episode that just happened. So just watch the clip. I didn't tell Celso I was doing this. I wanted to surprise my bro. Watch the clip and we'll be right back.
Me to the Jets, and we're going to do plenty of Giants episodes on this platform. But you know what? I got to see if my man's ready too, because like I said, my man Celso Porto has been helping me out on the 1 and 2s with this live stream. And he's got his glasses on, and he's a big Jets fan. Celso, you want to come in here for a second? There's Sean. Sean's still here. There he is. All right.
What up, Jerry?
Listen,
hey, you did it, bro.
Did it. First live stream in the books. And for those of you who don't know, he got this together because give me a mic. I just like to talk. And whether you want to listen, great. You don't, turn it off. But as far as graphics, live stream, tech side, I know nothing. So my man came through in like less than, I don't even know how many hours notice. But also, you got Morning Brew Sports, big time Jets fan. You have one of the best Jets shows. That's also what got me. I started listening to your Jets show on Morning Brew, and it kind of, I liked it. So hearing all that Jet stuff while you're on the 1 and 2s, you felt good, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, Jerry, I walk around now. I've spent 20 years of people laughing at me with this tattoo on my arm. All right. Now I'm getting high fives. Okay. And I'm in North Carolina. Right. So it's like, oh man, you a Jets fan? I'm like, yeah, now it's high fives. Before it was, damn, you're a Jets fan. So right. it feels good. But I'll tell you, man, when you started the show and you started talking about the Soprano moment on Hard Knocks, bro,
come on, though.
That moment was phenomenal. I was on Twitter
Make sure you go watch Jerry's. Make sure you go subscribe to Jerry's channel. That show is later on today at 3 p.m. My guy Celso will be behind the boards producing that. I have him backstage right now. I want to bring up my brother Celso. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you're ready to go. Celso is ready to go. This is another surprise. So,
I'm like, why you calling me up, bro? I was like, hold on a second.
I just want to say congratulations, bro. I had to give you your flowers, bro. Congratulations. This venture that we've been on over the past year and a half, bro. You deserve everything that's coming your way, my brother.
Thanks, bro. I mean, if it wasn't for what we've been able to do over the last year and a half that we've been grinding, and this community that's showing us support from day one. I mean, even TC Steels, finding TC through the community and jumping on, and Italy Jet with the Jet show. And what I love, bro, is since day one we said the same thing, right? We don't know where this will go. We want to have fun. Yeah. The money and all that stuff, people focus on that. We never have. And we're like, we want to focus on content. I want to wake up every morning and talk about things I love. And for me, that's the Yankees, the Jets, and the Knicks. And damn it, I get to talk about all three of them 7 days a week and do it with you guys. It's so much fun. But man, love the opportunity with Jerry. I thought that huge. Let's be real, guys. If you're an Entourage fan like I was, and Turtle calls your phone, it's like, hey, let's talk. You're like, oh my God, it's happening. super excited to be doing that stuff with him, man, and the crossover. There's so many more announcements that'll be coming out for our channel as well. So, you know, guys, we never ask you all the time, hey, drop a super chat and all that stuff. No, we ask for the easiest thing we can ask for, and that's support. And that's dropping a sub, dropping the likes. If you can do the same thing to help us grow over there with Jerry and the things that we'll be doing there and all the crossover. But man, thanks for putting me on the spot. Thanks for calling me up. I'm glad I took a shower and brushed my teeth because I've been awkward coming out here looking all dude.
Deserve it. But
you know what? I'm here for a little bit, man. I'll hang out. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's talk, bro. Let's talk. Look, well, you know the kids.
I like that North Carolina accent. I love that.
You like my North Carolina, man. Welcome to North Carolina. TC, I swear to you, bro. When I first moved here, the first question I ever got asked. You ready?
Yeah.
You speak the Mexican? I was like, where the hell am I? Where am I? Do I speak the Mexican? What the shit? I had no idea. I felt like I entered the Twilight Zone, but I'm here now.
That's right.
Yeah. But before we continue, let's shout out the chat. Let's do a little bit of the before we continue.
Hold on.
We got big time Jerry in the building. My guy Jerry, how you doing? Uncle Grandpa Tats is in the building. Anna Marie LeBeau. Anna, I'm sorry you can't make it. We'll do another giveaway. Anna, we'll make it out. I'm definitely going to get Anna to the stadium with me this season. My guy DJ Stills is in the building. Stills, how you doing? Shout out to my guy DJ Stills because I admit sometimes that I'm a boomer. I don't know how to navigate technology. My guy DJ Stills got me in the NYYU Discord, and he walked me through the technology. So shout out my guy DJ Stills for helping me out with that one. Anthony Medina. In the building. How you doing? We got my guy Sean Browning in the building. Our friend NFE. Steve Schumann says, I stand happily corrected. Listen, Steve. There's sometimes that you correct me in the chat, so we just helping each other out, right? Look, the police are coming right now to correct me. Like yesterday. Shout out my guy Steve Schumann who's in the chat. And of course, we got Yankee Kyle, who's always throwing us on his community tab. We appreciate Yankee Kyle for always helping us out. Who else we got in here? My guy Tyler Tabbitt is in the building. Salute. CWE is in the building. Brett Alexander's in the building. My guy Brett, how you doing? We got St. Hayes is in the building, and also we got 44 people like him. So if you guys can, please smack that like button. And Uncle Grandpa Tats with the 1999 super chat. It's all the loves, Jigga, aka
thanks, bro.
Bro,
can I say something real quick? I love when I have time at 10 o'clock to go jump into Grandpa Uncle Tats' chat.
I went this morning, it wasn't there.
Good show.
Yeah. And I love when he's there. And I'm always late. You know how it is. I'm trying to get everything set up for the morning, get the shows done. And I always come in. I'm like, how you doing? I'm like, Grandpa Uncle Tats. Doesn't matter whose sentence is in the middle of what topic is. Uncle Grandpa Tats every time. We'll stop it. Just go, Jigga. And I'm like, I love it. It's like, you know, so Grandpa Tats, I love you, bro. Yes, appreciate you.
We love Grandpa Tats.
We got Mac Miles is in the building. Mac, how you doing? My guy D-Rod said D's channel said already like this. Salute to you, D's channel. Sure. My guy D-Rod in the building. But we got to talk about it. Now that we got Celso up here, the Mr. Celebrity that's here. The Martian, Jasson Dominguez, Area 61 at Yankee Stadium. Wait, hold on, correction. Area 161 at Yankee Stadium. The Martian, like I said, he has a 333 batting average, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, and a 1.143 OPS. Celso, since I've known you, I've been talking about this kid. What's your thoughts?
One, you have good taste in men. Obviously, because you've been man crushing on this man since day one. So bravo on your taste. Bro, it's exciting to watch.
He was a teenager when he came up, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and delete this shit. All right.
Out of pocket.
Sorry, all right, well, this went downhill real quick. But I mean, I love what we're seeing from him. It's one of those situations, guys, where it also comes with frustration watching it because we've called for it for how long, right? Especially this community, especially all the people in the chat. We've been begging to see the kids. Call them up. We all know it happened way too late. Yes, it's doing exactly what they wanted, but we're all excited. But are any of us really surprised? Like, we knew what we had in these kids, man. Imagine if we would have actually brought them up before the deadline when we were begging for it, you know? But if you put those feelings aside and look at what he's doing and Wells, I mean, all of them, like, guys, we had a 3-hit game. You know what I mean? Like, that's the stuff that I miss seeing from our regular players. So super excited. And I will admit, I talked to my brother. They're all doing Spider-Man for Halloween costumes. I ordered an alien costume. I am going as a Martian this Halloween, and we will be on the Yanks Brew. I will be decked out in the Martian costume in honor of our Dominican power. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, definitely. TC, as you see, Talking Yanks put out there also on Twitter, Jasson Dominguez has joined Mickey Mantle as the only Yankees at the age of 20 or younger to ever hit 3 home runs in a 5-game span. Dominguez has done it in his first 5 career games. Like I said, your pops jumped out the window comparing him to Mickey Mantle, but I don't think he's that wrong. TC, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, again, like I said, it's too early. It's too early, but he has the tools. He has all intangibles to be that good. Coming up at 16, and now he's 20, getting his first look at the majors and doing what he's doing. The game doesn't look fast for him. I don't know. He seems comfortable. He had a short AAA appearances, only 11 games, and he tore it up there, hit 400, and he's 333 now in 5 games. So it looks great so far. But comparing to Mickey Mantle, give him a couple years. But hey, we got a lot to look forward to with this guy in center or left, wherever they want to put him. He looks great. So sky's the limit. Love it.
And you gotta love Hector. You gotta love the fact that the man hasn't even seen ET, and he's embracing the ET Martian. You gotta love that, right? When they did that first roll call, and he did the finger, bro. I was like, damn, I was ready to go ride a bike and just walk around like ET. It was great. It was great.
First
the whole
first thing, right?
That's good.
What I was in love with was the fact that on Sunday Night Baseball, when he was being interviewed by Carl Ravitch over there on ESPN, and Carl asked him, he was like, so growing up, your father named you after Jason Giambi, who was his favorite player. Who was your favorite player? And he thought about it for a second, and then he smiled and said, I didn't have a favorite player growing up. And then he was like, I watched David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez growing up as my favorite players. So that was a bit funny right there. He recognized it. He was like, oh, he's so aware at such a young age, him being that aware of just the fandom. It's just so funny. And you can tell it's the you got caught by your parents. So your first like extinction is first thing that pops in your head is, oh God, what lie can I say just to get out of this? And then afterwards you admit it. That's exactly what it felt like. Also, we got 40 people in the building. If you guys can't, please smack that like button. My guy Super Massive, who's in the building. If we had the playoffs, would Wells and Jasson be eligible to play, or did they come up a little bit too late? Supermassive, we already talked about it, but I'll refill you up on it. When it comes to it, as long as they were in the organization before August 31st, the Yankees could put a petition in with the commissioner office and have Dominguez and Wells and any of the other young kids replace players that are on the injured list. And we already have Josh Donaldson. I mean, not Josh Donaldson. We have Anthony Rizzo. We got Frankie Montas. We got enough people on the injured list that these young players could take their spot on the playoff roster. Who else we got in the
how 2023 Yankee season is this, man? Right? If we again, if it happens, right? We're not really putting our chips on it. I'm not going to bet the house on it, but if it did happen, we then have to rely on the fact that we had enough injuries to say, hey, can we use our young guys? That's the type of 2023 season.
Before we jump more into the playoff conversation, right? I want to bring something else up, because I think it's something that we have to talk about as Yankee fans. I just want to bring it up. Give me 1 second.
While you do that, I was going to say, I saw somebody said, what's up? Where are they? Ruben, Ruben.
Shout out my guy, Ruben. Also, make sure you guys are following my guy, NYY News Ruben, my guy, Don Sicario, my guy, NYY News Felix. They are putting out amazing content over there. Make sure you go and support them, because they support us over here. Felix is always liking and retweeting my stuff. So make sure you guys go and support them. But you brought up Jasson Dominguez and, little man crush situation. We got to talk about your man crush. right? Giancarlo Stanton, he had his 400 career home run the other night. He's almost close to 500 home runs. We have Giancarlo Stanton for the next 5 seasons. If he has this type of season over the next 5 years, he can get to 500 home runs. Is Giancarlo Stanton a Hall of Famer? Even if he gets to 500 home runs, you started off, Celso.
Well, you know, as far as the man crush side of me, I was super excited at 400. Hector even called me and we were talking, and he didn't even segue into it. He just wanted to see when it was going to come out. What was it, 30 seconds into the combo, Heck?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's like, I knew you'd be excited. It's funny because I love it. But then I'm getting people jumping in the Jets chat, jumping in the other shows to mess with me. And they're like, if Giancarlo gets to 500, would he even be able to run around the bases with those knees and make it to home plate? I'm like, why can't we just enjoy the 400 that he has right now? Right. Again, it's a great feat. It's awesome that it happened. It sucks it happened on a crappy season like this one. But, you know, that's nothing we've ever questioned with him. We know the power he has. Right. We know the consistency is always an issue. 1 minute you're looking like a guy who can't swing a bat and swing at everything outside. And then you're Giancarlo Stanton that's going to sit there and you'll be like, holy shit, that was a hit. Right. Like the power and everything. So, yeah, I think it'll be an easier conversation. Win me a World Series with Stanton on our roster. And then I can say, hey, let's talk, you know, Hall of Fame down the road and all that. Right now, I still think there's a lot that needs to be achieved for that to happen. But super happy for his 400th career home run, man. Keep it going.
Yeah, and I get that, bro. I get it. Us Yankee fans, ultimately, we want to see Giancarlo Stanton be a part of the team that gets us to the World Series and win a World Series. But if we're just analyzing the player and just looking at the body of work that Giancarlo Stanton has put together over his career, at one point when he was healthy and when he was with the Marlins in his prime, he was one of the most feared, if not the most feared hitter in all of Major League Baseball, right? We're not going to lie about that. The question about Giancarlo Stanton is, can he stay healthy? And that's been the one issue. But when you look at the amount of games that he has played, this man is like the 4th or 6th fastest player to get to 400 home runs. Yeah, right. He's on a list with guys like Roof, with guys like Barry Bonds. He's on a big time list. Giancarlo Stanton, he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, even if he cracks 500 home runs. No matter how the storybook plays out the rest of his Yankee career, if he gets to 500 home run, that's the benchmark. It's 300 wins, it's 3,000 hits, and it's 500 home runs. That's the benchmark right there to get into the Hall of Fame. If he cracks 500 home runs, he definitely deserves it. TC, what's your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I totally agree with the whole staying healthy part of it. But regardless of that, 400 home runs, like Sam down here says, 68% or 62% of the 400 home run hitters are in the Hall of Fame. So he's going to be finish somewhere between 400 and 500 if he doesn't hit 500. And yeah, I think that's for sure a Hall of Famer. I'll even put aside that his legs are shot and he can't run anymore. If he can just make more contact and cut down on his strikeouts, I'm okay with that because he's still a feared hitter. Yeah. When he's out of the lineup, we don't look the same. When he's there behind Glaber or behind Judge, I mean, they got to pitch to Judge. They got to pitch to some of these guys. They can't, Stanton is no slouch. And he makes contact, it's gone. I mean, he has one of the hardest hit balls, ever. So
he broke the pitcher's foot yesterday.
For me, it's he's in there for me. I look forward to the next 3-4 seasons he is with us, and hopefully he does get to participate in the World Series.
Like I said, he broke the pitcher's foot yesterday, 119 miles per hour right off of the pitch. That was the hardest ball he hit this entire season. I know the batting average isn't what we like. He has a 203 batting average, but he has 22 home runs. He has 55 RBIs, and he has an OPS of 725. TC, we all remember that play when he got thrown out at home plate. We all remember how bad Giancarlo Stanton was looking rounding the bases. If I would have told you that Giancarlo Stanton from back then, who had about 12 home runs or 11 home runs, whatever it was, that on September 7th, he would have 22 home runs, He would have 55 RBIs. He'll be third on this team in home runs. Would you have believed it? Because we all thought he was shot. I know I did.
Right.
I know I did. I said he's shot. Yankees should try to figure out what they can do to try to get rid of the man crush. I get it. You're smiling. You get your little
Celso doesn't give up on Mr. Stanton.
I know. Well, because it's like what you just said, TC. Even when he's slumping, even when it looks like he's down, right? Coming back from injuries, every pitcher still knows what Stanton possesses, right? So they still come at him knowing he's a threat, right? And that's the thing. I mean, the stats speak for themselves. Again, it sucks. And I feel like this season, it was, again, back to the fact of how many injuries we had and how many guys we've seen just go downhill. It put a big emphasis to be like, yo, Stanton's he's washed. And I wasn't ready to say that yet. You know, I just couldn't find it in me. I mean, I have a man crush for real on this dude, right? Hector, we've talked about it on this show millions of times. Every time I've gone to a Yankees game that I've been at home to watch, he has hit a home run when I'm there. Every single time. Like, he knows the love is real. I'm just saying. All right. So I need to make sure
in the ballpark.
Yeah. He's like, I feel it. Like his spidey sense.
Yeah.
And I want to highlight this chat. Shout out my guy Dan C that's in the chat who says, guys, no level of exit velo justifies a 200 hitter in the heart of the lineup. I literally just said the batting average is not something we want to be happy about. I definitely agree with you. That's why in this offseason, we'll have the conversation later. This offseason, the Yankees have to add to this lineup and not just rely on Giancarlo Stanton or DJ LeMahieu.
Dan, my man crush. Yeah, my man crush doesn't mean that I justify having a 200 average. Not at all. Okay, there's many clips out there, bro, that you'll see. I make it clear, hey, he still needs to step it up. We need some help there. Okay,
gotta highlight DJ Stills. Jiggles will jiggle Stanton's balls. That's how much he loves that bastard. Absolutely, DJ Stills.
Shout out my guy. Absolutely. Why gotta be absolutely? Like, ain't no ball jiggling going on.
Trust me, it's an absolutely.
This was not what
shout out my guy. Hold on, wait. Shout out my guy, retired war vet, who's in the building. Retired war vet, how you doing? Also, we got 53 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. And it's the first time I saw my guy Dan C in the chat. Dan C, let us know if this is your first time here. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the familiar. Dan. People in the chat, you guys already know what to do. Welcome Dan C to the Yankees Morning Brew familiar. Who else we got in the chat? Just want to shout out some.
I saw guys. VR Hidalgo is in there. My Jets Ring of Honor fam is showing up. There. Yeah, VR. What up?
You're bringing all the Jet crew with you?
But my guy VR, he hit it right on the head. The best stability is availability. And my guy Ruben put in the chat, Giancarlo Stanton, he only has 4 seasons where he played the 139 games plus, and he still has over 400 home runs. That's the crazy thing about this guy, Giancarlo Stanton.
No one would be complaining, heck, if we had a lineup that was working, right? And we knew he was just our DH that's going to come in and give us that fear and that home run.
Listen, if Giancarlo Stanton, I'll be happy with a 240 batting average. You don't got to be a 260. You don't got to be a 280 or 290 hitter. Give me a 240, and I'll take that for the rest of the season.
Let's go.
With 30 home runs, I'll take that for Giancarlo Stanton. Granted, that doesn't justify a $35 million AAV, right, when it comes to his salary. Well, guess what? The Marlins are going to be paying $10 million of that next year. So $25 million for a guy that hits 240, cracks you 30 home runs. I know he can't run to save his life. He looks like 2 Q-tips are running on his 2 legs. I know he can't run, but I'll take that from Giancarlo Stanton. But like I said, we'll address what the Yankees need to add this offseason later on in the episode. We got to get back to the main topic.
Yeah.
And that's us falling back in love with the 2023 New York Yankees. It's like 2016. It's like 2016 all over again, right? When you look at it, right? The 2016 New York Yankees, we sold off all of our relievers. We sold off our veterans. We made Alex Rodriguez retire early. Mark Teixeira was injured. We had Gary Sanchez come up, and Gary Sanchez, we thought he was going to be the next big star. But the thing about Jasson Dominguez is that in his press game conference, talking to the media, you can tell that this kid, since he was the age of 10 or 11 or 12 years old, his family has been preparing him for this moment, right? You could just tell how he carries himself. And if you guys are watching any of the guys that like Brian Hope that follows the team and supports the team and be posting out the pre-game videos of the batting practice, one of the first people you see in that cage is Jasson Dominguez. One of the first people you see around Sean Casey and Aaron Judge talking hitting is Jasson Dominguez. TC, what's your thoughts? And then throw it over to Cells.
Yeah, the kid looks like he's born to play baseball. I mean, he's just he's just a natural. Some people you can just see that's their gift, and he looks like that guy. He just like it's so easy for the smooth swing, just the swag. He has 20 years old as a pro already, and not many people can say that. That's rare. So, it's a dream come true for him, I'm sure, to be here. And I don't think he's going to take this for granted. He's, again, like you said, he's in the cage early. He's not going to put aside, oh, I'm already here. I'm going to act like a pro and, be lazy. No, he's going to put in the work and show that he deserves to be here. And all the hype around him is real. I mean, this isn't just, oh, okay, I made it now. I'm all the spotlights on me, just whatever. He's going to put in the work, and he's here to stay. And it's great to see this early, 20 years old. I mean, when can we have said that we have a superstar at 20 years old?
I don't know.
It's been a long time.
Because I know us Yankee fans, we've been asking, where's our Ellie De La Cruz? Where's our Juan Soto? Where's our international free agent signing that blossoms through our organization? Where is it?
Here he is.
And I got a picture that Brian Holt posted out. He got an exclusive picture of Jasson Dominguez holding Aaron Judge up and helping us get to the postseason. I got this picture right here. Check it out. Look at Jasson Dominguez holding Aaron Judge up. Look at that right there. Look at that picture to the side. Wow. That's literally how Dominguez is taking this Yankees and put it on his back, right? My guy Brian Holt said Jasson Dominguez with a 3-hit night. The Martian has 4 hits his first 2 games in the Bronx. The guy he replaced, Harrison Bader, has 4 hits since August 23rd. What we're seeing is what the Yankees could have been all year if they handled themselves down, or if they held themselves down with the worst collection of hitters Brian Cashman has ever put together. 6.5 games out. Will they make up that loss? What's going to be frustrating, right? And again, I see L.I. Yankee in the comment section saying that he's just focusing on developing the kids, which, yeah, I get it. You want to see development of the kids. But I don't think there's a Yankee fan, or if there is a Yankee fan out there that is rooting for this team to just lose games, come on, stop yourself. If this team puts it together, and even if they don't make the postseason, you still have to be excited for this September, right? You still have to be excited about what the future has in place for us. Go ahead, Cells.
I got to get out of here, so I wanted to say 2 things. One,
go ahead, brother.
When we were rooting, we weren't rooting for losing just to lose, right? Let's be real. We had a couple months here where we were like, man, they should just keep losing. But the reason was because we wanted to see the young kids come up. We wanted to see change. As things kept happening, we all realized as true fans, Cashman's going nowhere. Boone is going nowhere. When the reality of that sinks in, you start to realize, well, then let's focus on what really needs to be done. We don't trust Cashman to build a roster and get the pieces we need. So the biggest thing we were holding on to was, man, if we lose enough, maybe we will start to see the kids. So we're here now. If we've got kids playing and you're still hoping our team loses, that's an issue. You need to find your balance there because you were preaching for the loss so we can get to this point. Yes, that little piece inside you still wants to say, hey, 6.5 out. There's still hope. Yeah, there's always hope. All right. I love Angels in the Outfield. All right. All those movies. I still believe in that shit. All right. So, yes, am I going to say, hey, if it can happen, make it happen? Of course I want to see it. Does it change my opinion that we make a super epic run in the playoffs? No. We've got pieces that show what we have for the future. Do I still think if we get into the playoffs, if we were to, that we're going to make a World Series run? No. We still have too much that needs to be fixed. But I can end this season feeling better knowing, hey, now we have forced Cashman in their hands. They had to bring kids up that they're not going to be able to sit here and say, oh, they're going back down. Okay, because how could you justify at the end of the season being able to say, oh, I'm going to put any of these guys back down? You can't. So now we've got our wish. We're here. As fans, we need to get away from we want to get rid of Cashman because it's not happening. Why put our energy into that? Let's put our energy into shit. Okay, now we're seeing the kids. Let's hope they win. Let's see what we're seeing, and let's hope for the future. And yeah, that little piece of me inside is still saying 6.5. I mean, hey, shit, it could happen, right? And since you put me on the spot and brought me up here and played clips and everything, my turn before I go. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, make sure you tune in tomorrow morning. It's our boy Hector's birthday. We gonna go crazy on the Yanks brew tomorrow. Right back at you, Hector. Bye.
Yeah. I turn 34 tomorrow. Tomorrow morning is September 8th is my birthday. Make sure you guys tune in Yankees Morning Brew. But I wanna highlight one chat, my guy Dan C, who says it took a disaster season for the Yankees to bring up these young kids. Cashman approach to player development stinks. Dan C, I don't think myself or TC disagree with what you just said. I bring up the fact, Dan C, I'm not sure how long you've been watching us, but I did a deep dive on Brian Cashman's track record as the Yankees GM since 1998. I went through every bad trade, every bad free agent signing. I destroyed this man's resume. So I don't think that you won't get me, you won't get TC or anyone arguing with the comment that you just made. Since 2010, the New York Yankees on players that we've drafted, and that includes Aaron Judge, we are last in all of Major League Baseball in wins above replacement. And that includes with Aaron Judge. So that should goes to show you how bad we have been since 2010 when it comes to drafting and developing prospects, right? But at the same time, I recognize the report came out. My guy Pete Seminetti over there on NYYU, he talked about it as well, that it was Howard Steinbrenner who wanted to bring up Jasson Dominguez and the rest of the young kids. Brian Cashman was against it. It was Howard Steinbrenner that didn't want to trade Jasson Dominguez and the Luis Castillo trade. This is why we didn't trade for Luis Castillo. This is why we didn't include Jasson Dominguez in any of these other trades for what you're seeing right now. So Yankee fans, we may complain about how we may say that all he cares about is money, but he didn't trade the Martian. We got the Yankees have an outside firm coming in to evaluate this team, the skeleton, the bones. I know Cashman most likely will return, but this is a good direction that we're going in. TC, what's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I mean, you make good points about Hal. I mean, not trading these guys. Can you imagine if we traded Jasson Dominguez and he's doing this right now early and he ends up, say he hits 20
on the
home
Reds?
runs,
Oh, God.
They would be going bananas over there. So, props to Hal for stopping that. But yeah, Cashman, we already know we don't trust him. We need him gone, but he's not going anywhere. But yeah, this outside source needs to come in and reevaluate everything, top to bottom, analytics, scouting, development, you name it. Because you brought it up, there hasn't been any good prospects come up other than Judge, and it's sad. It's sad that our development can't get it together, or they change them around and change their stances, change their pitching. I mean, just make them into something else. I don't know. The development team is terrible. But at the same time, we have hope now. I mean, we're going to play for something. At least, we're seeing the kids, come in. I know it was late. But maybe this was the right time. I don't think Dominguez and Wells were ready by at the All-Star break or trade deadline. No. They weren't ready. Yeah. Could we have seen Pereira and Peraza earlier? Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
But not Dominguez. So this is the right time for him. There's no pressure on him. What if he was put into the scene 2-3 games out of the wild card, no development in AAA, and he just totally slumps and has a terrible start to his career? No, that's not what we want for the kid. He came in at the right time. There's no pressure. And look at it. The kids, everybody's playing so loose. Like nothing to play for. But guess what? Hey, if we put another streak together and keep going, we could make a run. But at least the fans have something to watch and get excited about. That's where I'm at.
We're on a 5-game winning streak, TC.
Yeah.
We're on the 5. Hold on, I got to go to my
10.
notes because I got some notes. We're 8 out of our last 9 games, and it should be 9 games in a row. If Gleyber Torres could fill back in Detroit, it would have been 9 games in a row. But check this out: a 5-game winning streak. This is the longest winning streak, or this is tied for the longest winning streak of the season. Do you remember the last time the Yankees won 5 games in a row for this season? You don't got to give me a specific date. Just tell me the month. What month do you think?
April?
May. It was May 18th to May 23rd when the Yankees won 5 games in a row. And shout out to my guy, NYY News Ruben, with the $10 super chat. El numero uno, Ruben. We overhauled our minors after 2018. We have a monster minor league system now. The problem is that Cashman doesn't like rookies. Thank you, Hal, for believing in the young guys. Absolutely, Ruben. Yeah. And like I said, I appreciate the facts that the Yankees, they're buying into this Area 161. If you check out the Yankees, so they're ready to go. Whenever the Yankees have a mascot, right? Whenever there's a mascot that the fans automatically come up with, it's either a mustache, it's either a squirrel or some corny shit like that. Yeah. We have the Martians. We have the aliens inside of the stadium. I could just imagine what the marketing is going to be for next season. The amount of alien Martian merch the Yankees will be selling. They need to start getting it on right now. Start selling that Martian merch right now. You got a few games left in the season and do that. And you want to know how much I brought into this Yankee playoff hype? You want to know how much I brought into it? I brought into it. I'm all in. I'm all in. You want to know how much? September 21st, the New York Yankees, they play their last game at Yankee Stadium against the Toronto Blue Jays. Guess who's going to that game?
On the 21st?
On the 21st. I will be at the game. So
you're going the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd?
I'm not going to do the 22nd. I can't do the 22nd, but I'm doing the 21st and the 23rd. So I will be there the 21st to see the last game, Yankees versus the Blue Jays in the stadium. The Yankees afterwards play a series in Toronto. But I did the math. We are 6.5 out right now. The Yankees go on a winning streak, or if they win 6 out of the next 8 games or 8 out of the next 10 games, that game on the 21st of September will determine if the Yankees get that 3rd wild card spot. So I will be at that game September 21st. If you guys are out there, they still have tickets for $6, $5 right now. Go on the Game Time app. This is not a plug. I don't get paid. No paid sponsorship. Go on the Game Time app. Get the cheapest tickets you can right now before the tickets, they jack up the prices again because the Yankees get closer to possibly being in the postseason. Praying everyone loses and we keep winning. I want to believe that Anna Marie want to say absolutely, because the Texas Rangers, they've fallen off a cliff. The Boston Red Sox, they can't figure it out. The Toronto Blue Jays, they got issues with their pitching staff. So if the Yankees can keep winning, you got to win every game that's in front of you. Just win it. That's all you can. That's the only way.
They're playing loose. There's no pressure.
Yeah, that's the only way you can control your destiny. Win the games that you play and wait to see what the other teams do. Like my guy Dan C said, the kids are 5-0 and they already know they can play at this level. So important. And that's a fact. I'll throw it over you to UTC. I just want to say this. One of the post-game press conference, you heard Jasson Dominguez saying that this is the same game he's been playing ever since he was a 12-year-old. And it's true. This is the same game that they play at AAA, at AA, at Single A, at the Rookie Development League. This is the same game. It's just the players are better. And how do you adapt? Go ahead, TC.
Right. Yeah, you just let the game come to you. I mean, yeah, he's going to face such, the pitching is the break on curve balls and sliders. I mean, it's just stuff he hasn't seen in AAA. But the kid's good enough to make, to adapt to it, to make changes, you got Sean Casey in there. He's definitely making a difference with these guys. So he's going to help them a lot. Like we were saying on the other show, Sean Casey's been there. He's been in the batter's box. He's been in slumps. He knows these pitchers. So, the game is not too big for Dominguez, and we're seeing it. It's fun. It's fun for the fans to get back involved in this team, because the month of July, the month of August, it was just doomsday. We just we hated this team on all talk shows, all content creators. We're just slamming this team about, get rid of Cashman, get rid of Boone, get rid of this guy, clean the whole team out. And now the excitement of just a couple of kids coming up.
We back, baby.
We're back, and the 23rd's around the corner, and I'm looking forward to the game now. I'm actually looking forward to seeing, Dominguez out there and Pereira and Peraz and Wells, El Bigote. I'm looking forward to seeing this, and it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a great time, and hey, let's go.
Did you think going into the month of August? Did you think that halfway through the month of August, DJ LeMahieu would turn himself into a 300 hitter?
No,
because since the middle of August, DJ LeMahieu is hitting over 300. Since the beginning of August, coming out of the end of July, coming out of the trade deadline and the All-Star break, Gleyber Torres, he's hitting well over 300. And all of that correlates to what? It correlates to the Yankees getting rid of Dylan Lawson and bringing in Sean Casey. I got some people in the chat. Shout out to my guy, Yohan Seco, in the chat, who's talking about the kids being in the postseason. For those of you that missed it, I started off the episode with this. I went into the Major League Baseball rules, and I found that our young kids are eligible for the postseason. I'm going to read the rule again. A player who doesn't meet said criteria for the postseason eligibility can still be added to a team's roster in the postseason via petition to the commission's office if the player was in the organization on August 31st and is replacing someone who is on the injured list and have served the minimum amount of time required for activation. For example, a player on the 10-day injured list who has been on it for at least 10 days, or a player who has been on the 60-day injured list or at least 60 days, player who are acquired in September or after or eligible. So say like right now, the Yankees came out and they said Anthony Rizzo is shut down for the remainder of the season. All they have to do is place him on the 10-day IL, keep placing him on the 10-day IL. So when the time the postseason comes around, Jasson Dominguez is replacing Anthony Rizzo. You could do the same thing for Billy McKinney. You could do the same thing for anyone else that is injured on the team. We got Frankie Montas, whose 60-day IL is about to be up at the end of this month. You could have one of those young kids replace Frankie Montas coming off the 60-day IL. The rules in place, I get it because I was nervous about it. No fake injuries. It's the Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo's done for the rest of the season. The Yankees can place him on the 10-day IL. By the time the postseason comes up, Anthony Rizzo would have done his time on the IL. And the same thing for Frankie Montas and Nestor Cortez as well, Yohan. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, going back to DJ LeMahieu, do you think he's fully healthy now? Do you think that was the issue?
It looks
that he's turned it around.
He's driving the ball. He's turning on that inside pitch. They showed him yesterday the way that he is rotating or manipulating his ankles goes to show you that he has full mobility in that big toe that was hurting him last year. So I think he is fully healthy. I think we got a healthy DJ LeMahieu now. And now when you got a hitting coach like Sean Casey, who knows what it is, what it feels like to be in that batter's box, I think right there is a big difference.
Yeah, I'm noticing it too. He's going to right field a lot of home runs to right field too. That power is back, and yeah, it's a good sign. I mean, they moved him back to leadoff, and he looks comfortable, and that's definitely where it needs to be. And wow, it's been a turnaround. I would have never thought, like when you just said, he's hitting 300 in what 30 games. The past 30 games. I mean, that's we thought he was
since
done
the middle
of
August,
down to 220, 230. I mean, I've
never
seen.
But even to start the month of if I include the start of the month of August, he is still hitting 290. So even if you take away, I said the middle of August, if you go to the beginning of August with Gleyber Torres, DJ LeMahieu is hitting 290, just around 290. My guy Dan C killing it with the chats today. My understanding is that Casey told Peraza to go back to that kick if that's what made him comfortable. And it has worked out. He had another 3-hit game last night. He had a 3-game hit against the Astros. Over the last 4 games, our guy Oswald Peraza, he is batting .476. He has 7 hits, 3 RBIs, and he has a run scored. It is great to see. We love seeing Aaron Judge hit home runs. It's awesome to see Giancarlo Stanton hitting home runs, seeing Gleyber Torres do, but it makes it easier for them to do that when the other guys in the lineup are performing as well. It takes the pressure off of them when everyone else is around them contributing. I think last night, perfect example, when it comes to the Yankees lineup. I don't remember the last time we had the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th hitters, the 2-hitter, and the 3-hitter all being Yankee prospects. Judge, Yankee prospect. Dominguez, prospect. Wells, Pereira, Peraza, Cabrera, Yankee prospects. We had Volpe as well. 6 guys in our lineup that we developed. When you look at this lineup at the beginning of the season, it was reverse. We only had Volpe and we had Judge. If you want to throw in Gleyber Torres, because yes, Gleyber Torres spent some time in our minor league season, copy. We'll even give you that Gleyber Torres. That makes 7 players in our lineup, players that we developed and came through our minor league season. I mean, our minor league organization. That was us lineup last night. And I brought up the fact, even if the Yankees don't make the postseason, right? Even if we miss 1 or 2 games, right? It's still going to be a great month of September. What's going to hurt more is that you start to remember those games that we should have won. That 9-game losing streak that Clay Holmes destroyed. He got lit up in Miami. That game against the Colorado Rockies, we got lit up late in the game. We gave it up. That game that Garrett Cole was pitching in Tampa where he had a lead, but then he gave it up. If the Yankees miss the postseason by just a few games and we go into the offseason, that's why I say we're going to have that conversation of what the Yankees need to add. Because if we didn't have Aaron Hicks in the lineup, if we didn't have Josh Donaldson in the lineup, we may have won those games or a few of those games.
Yeah.
TC, what's your thoughts before we switch gears?
That's why you play every game like it's the last game of the World Series. Every game counts. And you prove it right there. We miss out 1 game, 2 games. I mean, we could have made it, but no. I mean, it's just exciting seeing all the prospects come up. Like you said, all these guys. I mean, it's easier to watch this game. You root for these kids. Before, I wasn't even into the game. Why would I watch the game with all these retreads and the McKinneys and Calhouns and IKF? And it's like we've seen that, done that. I mean, Cashman loves these guys that. Just stop with that already. We develop our kids, and that's the future of this team. Just go look at the Braves. The Braves did that. You know, they develop all their kids, and that's the mainstay of their lineup is all their kids. So this is the future of the Yankees, and now we get to see it in a whole month to see what they got. I don't care if they make it or not. That to me, it's not a big deal. It's good to have some hope and get excited. It's a possibility, but I'm just excited to watch these kids develop and just play out. I want to see Wells, come through. Get his average up. Pereira, I'm rooting for that kid because he's slumping, but he's got the intangibles to be that guy. And of course Dominguez. I mean, that's the guy that we all want to see come through, and it's going to be a great month. Whether we make it or not, I don't care. The Yankee fans have something to at least look forward to, and we'll see how it goes.
Definitely. I want to shout out my guy Illuminati Gaming in the building, who says, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but our schedule is not going to help us. Milwaukee 3, Boston for 4, Pittsburgh for 3, Toronto for 3 at the stadium, Arizona for 3, and Toronto for 3. When you look at that, right, let's dissect those teams for a second, right? Pittsburgh started the season on fire. They just, Andrew McCutchen out for the rest of the season. Pittsburgh is literally in tank mode right now. They're not winning any games. Arizona, same thing. Arizona was the #1 team in the AL West, Rookie of the Year, and Corbin Carroll. Right now, Arizona has fallen off a cliff. The Boston Red Sox, they've embarrassed us this entire season. Every time we play the Red Sox, we've been embarrassed. Over the past couple of weeks, the Boston Red Sox, they've been falling flat on their face. So what's the perfect medicine? You come to Yankee Stadium, you get smacked up when it comes to Boston. The only teams that I'm really fearing in this matchup is Milwaukee and Toronto. right? Milwaukee, I think we can compete with them, right? We got to trust in our bullpen. We got to trust in our starting rotation. I think Garrett Cole is pitching one of those games as well against Milwaukee. So we got our ace going for us, right? We got Carlos Rodon, I think, as well, pitching in that series. Carlos Rodon came from the National League. He pitched against the Milwaukee Brewers last year. He's been better of late. So let's see what's happening. I see what you're saying, Illuminati Gaming, but that's why I said we got to take care of the games that are right in front of us. We got to just win the games that we're supposed to win and see what happens with every other teams. Games against
everybody's
Boston,
been better though. When you talk about the pitching, Michael King, wow, what a shock, huh? Well, look at him.
You got
Severino's bounced back. Rodon's pitched well, and you can, what can you say about
Clark Schmidt?
Clark Schmidt, 7 innings. What did he go? 6 2/3, almost 7 innings yesterday. I mean, 2 runs. I mean, that's great.
He pitched into the 7th.
That's the longest he's ever pitched. He's been one of the best pitchers this whole season for the Yankees. And and Cole, you got Cy Young Cole out there. I don't have any problem with the starting pitching. We can match up against any team. I'm not afraid of Milwaukee or Toronto. I mean, I really hope we smash Boston. But the bullpen's been great. I mean, we've had some injuries. Middleton just went on the IL, but that's okay. We got guys that can come up, and the kids are just playing loose, and I love that about that team. They're not tight like the pressure was on them in July, all the guys to come through, and now these kids are like, hey, we're up here, let's have fun. I see that. I see they're having more fun now. I don't know. Am I seeing something different? What about you?
Oh no, you definitely not seeing something different. Before I continue, shout out to my guy, Mr. Joseph Caputo from the shift, also from the Blitz, and also from the Big Blue Brew over here on the Morning Brew Sports. Caputo. If you guys can, make sure you guys go follow my guy Joe. The Giants season is literally coming up right now. We're going to have football from now until February. Basketball is around the corner as well, so my Knicks are going to be getting into gear. But make sure you guys go follow my guy Joe from the Blitz if you're a Giants fan. Also, he has a show that comes on every Friday. It's going to be a big one this Friday because the Giants' first game of the season, Giants versus Cowboys. Let's see what happens. Shout out to my guy Joe.
Sunday Night Football, Giants and Cowboys.
Being in the chat, absolutely. Like
tonight,
DNC said,
tonight
so
there's
happy.
A game. Kansas City and Detroit. Football starts tonight.
Make sure you go watch it. But let's switch gears a little bit because I know I was saving this conversation for the end. But whatever happens this offseason, whatever happens the rest of this month of September, whether we make the postseason or we don't make the postseason, the Yankees, and I'm going to take a line from my guy, Keith McPherson. Shout out to my guy, Keith McPherson from WFAN. He's a late night guy. Make sure you guys listen to my guy and call in the show. But Keith has been saying the Yankees, they need to stack the deck. In the offseason, no matter what happens, the Yankees have to stack the deck.
Facts.
You got to go into this offseason and you have to add to this roster. Bring us Cody Bellinger. Have us have Cody Bellinger to be our left fielder. He'll be our cleanup hitter. You can move Giancarlo Stanton down the lineup. That takes the pressure off of Giancarlo Stanton.
Yep.
Go ahead, TC. What's your thoughts?
No, that's a big one. That's a big need, and a left-handed hitter in Bellinger. No, he's not wrong in that. That's a must. That's a number one, and also the pitcher, the Japanese pitcher, right? The Yamamoto. That'd be another one. That'd be another big get for our pitching staff.
I would want Soto. Trust me, I would want Soto. But if we trade for Soto and here's San Diego, you're gonna want Dominguez back.
Yeah,
and if
that's
we're the
Yankees,
Yankees,
our whole system. Yeah, we can't do that.
We're not trading Dominguez. No more.
Right. Yeah, but, no. Bellinger is the first need. Yes, let's cross him off our list. Get him. There's other needs. There's possible. We might need a third baseman. We're not sure if we're. What are we doing with Glaber, Peraza? What's the dynamic there? So, and Rizzo. Are we going to trust Rizzo at first base next year? Is he going to come back fully healthy? If there's a first baseman out there, maybe we get a left-handed hitting first baseman. I don't know. But there's a lot of needs as well. The kids are great, but I don't see us, just relying on all our rookies next season. So there's guys to get, and Hal and Cashman got to be all in and say, yeah, no holds barred. Let's just go out and spend some money. You got the money, spend it.
Spend it. Illuminati Gaming also says Arizona is half a game back from the third wild card spot, and Boston always plays as hard. Absolutely. But when you look at it, Arizona, they only are better than the Yankees by 2 games. If the Yankees were in the National League, we'll be 2 games out of that last wild card spot, or 2.5 games out of that last wild card spot.
Yeah.
When you look at it, I brought up Arizona because Arizona, for the first 2 months of the season, they were in first place in the NL West. And ever since then, they've been playing under 500 baseball. They're only 2 games over 500, or 2.5 games over 500. So take away the first 2 months of the season, Arizona's playing under 500. So that's why I'm saying the only team that really, or the only teams that I'm worried about in this stretch of games that are coming up is Milwaukee and the Toronto Blue Jays. That's it. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Rod Thompson in the building. Rod, how you doing, my guy? Salute. And like Ruben said, Bellinger could be the left fielder, or he could be the center fielder. However you want to do it, or he can even play first base. If there's any issues with Anthony Rizzo, you could just have Bellinger play first base, and you can have Cabrera play left field.
Yeah.
We just need to add Bellinger to this team. And I get it. It's a risk that we're taking with adding Cody Bellinger. It's definitely a risk because of the injury history, right? I get that. But you got to ask yourself, we already have $300 million invested into Garrett Cole. We already have $360 million invested into Aaron Judge.
Right.
Are you trying to be fiscally responsible while you still have the window with your 2 top players or your 2 top salary players on your team? You can't waste that. We have a unique window right now. You can add in Cody Bellinger. Say it like this. Give Cody Bellinger $25 million a year. That's what Josh Donaldson made. You're not hurting your payroll, right? Then with Luis Severino, $15 million coming off. Harrison Bader's money's not going to be on the books next year. That's $20 million right there. You can add Yamamoto for $20 million a season. Look at what Kodai Senga got with the Mets. Yamamoto easily $20 million a season. I just saw a starting pitcher and your left fielder right there, not by adding to your payroll, but taking money that was coming off and just reappropriating the salary or reappropriating the figures. Go ahead, TC.
No, you got a great point. I mean, we can't waste the Cole and Judge years. There's no way. We gotta. This is our window of 5-6 years, and got to go for it. You do. My dad says right here, you got to go for it. So
yes,
spend the money, build around. You got some pieces. Like in September, you're going to see who's going to stick around with all these kids. But it gives you a core to work around. We don't need a lot of pieces. Bellinger, Yamamoto, maybe one other guy. That's about it. But I mean, you got to spend the money. Can't be doing the Cashman shuffle where he just gets these dumpster diver, DFA journeyman. I'm so tired of seeing that. We can't go in the season like we did this year with no left fielder. That needs to be solved immediately.
Yeah,
we need a closer.
That's
another need. So let's go out and get one.
My fault, TC. I'm sorry. I don't mean to step on. I just wanted to bring this up. My guy Ruben said, I think Bellinger will surpass 25 and get 27 to 30 million per year. How about this, Ruben? The Yankees offer him a base salary, just the base salary of 25 million. Throw in incentives.
There you go.
If he makes the All-Star game, if he's top 3 or top 5 in MVP voting, if he plays over 120 games per season, let that 25 go up to 30 million. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Offer him the base of 20. Fuck it. Just let the incentives, if he meets those incentives, let it go to 35 million. It's not my money. We got 89 million coming off of it. Offer him 35 million if he meets the incentives. I don't give a damn.
Just start, spending it. Make it rain. Let's go.
Yeah. Go ahead. And also I saw someone bring up you got Lee, the kid from Korea, who's supposed to be, some people are saying, I know it's it's tough to put this on him, but he could be the next Ichiro Suzuki with a little bit of more power. I know this is tough to put that much pressure on him, but if his player profile is just 60% of what Ichiro is, I'll be happy with that. Or even if it's 50% of what Ichiro is, I'll be happy with that. If you want to get Lee to be our left fielder and you want to cut ties with Anthony Rizzo and just have Cody Bellinger be our first baseman and split time in the outfield whenever you have to DH Judge or however you got to figure it out. Do what you got to do. Just make this happen. Go ahead.
Maybe we need to just let Hal do the decision making and relieve Cashman. Say, Hal, bring just in a secret guy. You know, hey, we're gonna tell Cashman that he thinks he's the GM, but I'm the GM, and here, this is what we're gonna do. And he does all the moves. He's got Hector back there. Hector, hey, what do we do?
Like my guy Sean Browning just said, don't put all the eggs in some basket. Go for Bellinger while courting Jung Ho Lee and Yamamoto. Absolutely, Sean Browning. And my brother Rod Thompson with the $9.99 super chat. He says, after this season, would you call up the Angels to see if they would swap Trout and Stanton's contracts?
Doubt it.
That's very interesting, Rod. The only way that will happen if the Yankees are sending back prospects. And I'm not sure if you want to just sacrifice prospects just to get off of a bad contract. And you also got to remember, if the Yankees trade that Giancarlo Stanton contract, the Marlins, that extra money that the Marlins are throwing in, it's not going to be added into it. So you lose that. So the team will have to take on. So the Yankees will still have to eat some of his money. So do you still want to pay Giancarlo Stanton to be on another team and give up prospects? I know we're getting Mike Trout back, but it's a good idea, but I don't see Artie Moreno. If he trades Mike Trout, he's going to want a haul back. He's just going to want as many. He needs to rebuild his organization. He struck out not trading Shohei at the trade deadline. He tried to go all in. You got to give him credit. You got to give him. They shot their shot and it just didn't go through. You got to give them credit. They may have waited too long, but they shot their shot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they made some terrible moves. They just, oh wow. And then they released everybody, all the guys that trade deadline. Yeah, they look like a mess over there. But yeah, they're not getting rid of Trout. There's no way. We're stuck with Stanton, and I'm okay with it because what we see around him, I'm okay with it. I am.
Let's see Illuminati Gaming, who says Jones in left field, Dominguez in center, Judge in right, Bellinger at first, Peraza at second, Volpe at short, LeMahieu at third, Wells is the catcher, and Stanton is the DH. I'll take that. And that's what makes Cody Bellinger just so more appealing. Because even if the Yankees sign him to be our starting left fielder, if there's any setbacks with Anthony Rizzo, you go into the season with Bellinger being your starting left fielder. As the season goes on, if there's setbacks with Rizzo, because that would be Rizzo's last year. I think it's one more team option for the last year, but just hypothetically, if there's any setbacks, you could just move Bellinger to first base, and you could either have Cabrera playing left field, or depending on how much Spencer Jones has progressed over the time, you have a spot opening up for Jones in left field.
Right.
Like I said, you could start the season with Bellinger as your left fielder. As the season is going on, if Anthony Rizzo is not living up to what he has to do when it comes to producing as a first baseman, you just move Bellinger's first base and you bring up Spencer Jones to be a left fielder in the middle of the season. Yeah. That's not a crazy idea.
Exactly.
Is that crazy?
No. Halfway through the season, I think Spencer Jones will be ready. As fast as he's rising up through the farm system, yeah. By All-Star break next year, I believe Spencer Jones will be the left fielder, and Bellinger will probably be the first baseman if we get him. I mean, that's just a hope, and a dream. But yeah, no, what you just said, perfect scenario.
And then, like I said, we all gotta always remember that Giancarlo Stanton, he's always going on the IL for his little mid-season vacation, right? So we know that's going to happen, right? So if there's times that you have to DH Aaron Judge, which you're going to have to, you can have Bellinger play right field and have DJ LeMahieu be your first baseman. You could DJ would still be able to rotate as a first baseman, as a second baseman, or as a third baseman. You could keep that rotating wheel keep going. It's not that far out of a stretch or a possibility, right? I'm just throwing it in there. That's what makes Bellinger so much appealing. Because like my guy, Dr. Hitskin says, his versatility is what makes him so much likable. He's not a guy that you could just get to be an outfielder and now you're stuck with him in the out. No, you can move him around. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, it's going to be a big competition for Bellinger because everybody knows that that's our number one need in the offseason. So price is going to be driven up, and
go ahead.
It's not going to be easy to get Bellinger. So
yeah. Go ahead. Retats chat.
Yeah, Tats. I got to bounce, but love you all in the chat. Talk to you all soon. Make sure you all flood the chat tomorrow for Hector's birthday tomorrow. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Grandpa Tats.
Yes, sir. Uncle Grandpa Tats.
You have a good rest of your day. Be here for the birthday celebration. This guy right here.
But there's a comment that I want to bring up that my guy Joe put in the chat. He said, what would you want back in a Gleyber trade? It's a great question to ask. Personally, me, it has to be a major league ready, middle of the rotation starting pitcher, or it has to be a major league ready closer. I don't want a prospect that is going to take 3 years to develop. I don't want that. I want a starting pitcher that you can put in the middle of that rotation, or I want a bullpen arm that you can put as a closer or a setup guy. That's what I want back for Gleyber Torres. What about you, TC?
Yeah, it has to be a major league ready player. Those are big needs.
Steve W.E. said Juan Soto.
Yeah, Juan Soto. Yeah, you're dreaming. Closer would be great. What's the guy in the Reds? The Diaz's brother, Edwin Diaz.
Alex
brother,
Diaz. Alex Diaz.
Yeah,
Alexi
that would be
Diaz,
that would be a dream.
Is.
I mean, someone like that. I don't know if anyone's going to give up, a bona fide closer for Gleyber Torres. I'm looking maybe, right middle of the road, a starting pitcher, major league ready. If there's a third baseman out there, maybe someone who's got a good track record. I don't know. I'm not getting prospects unless it's a number one ready to go. The guy's in AAA. He's a top 5 prospect in the system. Maybe, but I want some major league ready guys for Gleyber.
My guy Ruben said, my problem when it comes to Juan Soto is how bad bloopers he has on defense, and that I feel sometimes he goes up to the plate wanting to walk. If he was a smidge more aggressive, he would be able to hit 300 again. When it comes to Juan Soto, I think Juan Soto over the next 10 seasons is going to be top 3 hitters in all of Major League Baseball. That's what I feel about Juan Soto. Thing about Juan Soto is that he's been an everyday right fielder. With Aaron Judge's toe injury that he sustained this year, are we going to have Judge play left field and have a Juan Soto play right? Or you could have just Juan Soto play left field. I know his numbers are bad defensively, but he's still a phenomenal talent. He's still young at the end of the day. You could if you trade for Soto, you could have his first 3 seasons with the Yankees or 4 seasons be in left field. And as Judge ages and becomes more of an everyday DH, you just move Juan Soto to right field. And whenever Judge wants to play the outfield, you can have Judge in right field. You could DH Soto, or you could have Soto playing left field. I know a lot of people have been making comments about Juan Soto's defense. And my guy Pete, he made a video also, and I agree with Pete exactly. He's a hitter at the end of the day, and he's the outfielder at the end of the day. He can either play right field or left field. He's a better right fielder than he is a left fielder. I see my guy Illuminati Gaming saying move Judge to first base. I'm not sure about that. Big bodies at first base don't have a long career when it comes to longevity, especially when they get older. You saw Richie Sexton, who was a big body first baseman. Derek Lee, big body first baseman. Once they passed 34 years old, they just took a nosedive. Their body couldn't handle that wear and tear being a first baseman every day, having to bend down. I'm not sure Judge would be a good first baseman, but like I said, you just rotate Soto and Judge. That's all.
Isn't Soto a free agent after next season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, so that's something that's a possibility that we without getting rid of all our farm system, we could end up with Juan Soto.
Just use your money, flex your financial money. It'll be a great marketing tool. He'll be great to pair with Jasson Dominguez as well. Two Dominican kids in that outfield. That'd be crazy, bro. That would be crazy.
Soto,
but
Dominguez,
like I said,
Judge.
If you do get Soto, you're not getting Soto because he's a Gold Glove defender. You're not getting Soto for that. You're getting Juan Soto because he's a left-handed power hitter in Yankee Stadium who has a high on-base percentage. Juan Soto, I think he's been in the major leagues for 6 seasons, maybe 7 seasons. He has led Major League Baseball 3 of those seasons. And he isn't even 25. He's not even 25 years old or 26 years old. He's not even in his prime. And he's already led baseball 3 of the seasons. He's been up here when it comes to on-base percentage.
Yeah. I mean, the dream scenario to have him with Dominguez and Judge. Wow. Yeah, he's an on-base machine. And imagine him in front of Judge. Oh my God. I mean, that's a dream scenario.
Let's get ready to
flex your muscles, man. Get him.
Yeah, flex your muscles. How thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing what you got to do to get these young kids up, because the Martian Area 161 is in full effect. I just want to let you guys know, appreciate everybody who showed up. We got 55 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitter, come join the YouTube conversation. We have a lot of fun over here on YouTube. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for another episode of Yankees Morning Brew. It is my birthday. We'll be celebrating on the channel. Boy. We'll do an open panel as well. And I've got to take this second. I want to shout out my partner, my girlfriend, probably one of the best people I've ever met in my life. She is taking me to Yankee Stadium tomorrow morning before the show for a tour of Yankee Stadium. She set that up. So I want to thank my girlfriend. She's amazing. My best friend, my partner. I just want to give her flowers when it comes to that. But like always, guys, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button. TC, take us out. Last words.
Yeah, guys. Don't miss the birthday celebration. Birthday boy, Hector, be here tomorrow. Open panel. We've got another game tonight. Let's keep it rolling. And deuces.
Let's make it 6, baby. We out.